Welcome back to Scrumptious Unscripted. I am Kat, that is Pappy, and we are here finally to talk once again about Outcast, which is a new show this summer on Cinemax. We're going to discuss episodes 3 and 4 titled
All Alone Now and A Wrath Unseen. Happy, very happy show.
Yeah, it's a great uplifting show. Totally appropriate for children.
Yeah, it's very, very light. Now, we're doing a little bit of looking into it since we recorded our first, 2-episode synopsis. It is dropping a little bit in viewership and popularity, and I understand because it's a very slow burn show. But for those of you guys who are still interested, who might have dropped it after the second episode, it is worth watching.
The
Now,
third episode was definitely worth
yeah.
watching.
Now, on a personal note, if you're one of those people who's like, well, I'll just wait till the season's over and then watch it all at once, I'm not really against that because I think you might actually pick up on a little more stuff by just, one weekend, check the whole thing out. But don't drop it. It's getting better. It's getting a little more interesting. I did complain a little bit that episode 2 did nothing but ask more questions.
Yeah.
Now we're getting some answers. So let's start with All Alone Now, which was kind of almost the Creature of the Week version of the show.
Yeah, well, I had touched on this in our first episode that I was curious where it was like, well, are we going to deal with a different possession every week? Is this like, monster of the week, as it were? And we're getting a little bit of that, but it's also helping grow our core characters.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with it right now.
And this one was pretty good in that they cast a great character actor to be the possessed guy. Lee Tergesen, if I'm pronouncing his last name correctly. You'll know him from all the things.
That
he's
guy
he's
from that thing.
Yeah. But he plays a fallen cop who kills and then rapes his partner's wife. And now he's basically on death row. And the partner, this isn't my friend. This isn't the guy. So
Yeah.
he calls the Reverend. He calls our emo outcast buddy in to try and help.
Team
And
Mope Squad.
it was nice because it definitely it deepened the Reverend's character to me. It introduced doubt because here it is. This is what I do. This is what I've been doing my whole life, and I want to drive out evil, but I can't drive out the most powerful. But this guy just fucking spits in their mouth, and it's just
That's the only thing that is really starting to get to me with this show is it's like, can we please stop bleeding and leaking bodily fluids right up in the mouthhole areas, please?
But this episode deepened, our main characters, and it also deepened that backstory, I guess, the fiction behind why is he called Outcast? How many people know about it?
Yeah.
And I love the promises from Crazy Cop, I will tell everyone to leave you alone if you do this and all of that shit, making it really, really creepy, make a pact with the devil and we'll leave you alone. Otherwise, everyone you know and love, that kind of stuff. It was interesting because now it's like, well, how far back does this go?
Yeah, well, and you got snippets too with, I keep wanting to call him Data. That's so terrible, but...
Brent Spiner.
Brent Spiner, but we know his name in the show now too is Sydney.
Yes.
And him talking to Kyle's mom saying, like, he's never going to know how hard you fought us. Yeah. And it doesn't matter anyway because he's ours.
And in that background, that flashback where young Kyle, it looked like he was choked to death. And then now you're like, okay, did he go to heaven and come back? Did he go to hell and come back? What the hell was that? Because moving into episode 4, it's gone. Not mentioned anymore. But yeah, episode 3 was necessary because it also introduced doubt and failure, which broke up that Monster of the Week idea because they didn't just go in, fix the problem, and leave. It was, let's go in, and now we're coming out worse off than when we went in.
Yeah. And that relationship, too, is very tenuous, very fractured.
Yeah. And I like that, too. And also, adding more depth to our Reverend buddy with, the picture of his son and all of that stuff.
About kicking grass in the rain. And it's just like,
screaming
the
at God.
most foul-mouthed Reverend I think I have ever seen.
pretty nice, actually.
Yeah,
I,
it is a
I
little bit
appreciate that.
refreshing. He
Yeah.
has an oodles of humanity, but you almost start to wonder by episode 4 if his kind of liberal approach to being a reverend is not hindering his ability to do
Yeah.
his job.
And again, fleshing him out more, the collection, his little gifts and all of that stuff. It was pretty neat to see. But yeah, he's my problem with him is that how are we going to introduce the self doubt to where he's a fallen figure? Like, are we going to go that far, or are we going to humanize him but also keep him functional? Hopefully, they maintain that path and not some down the road turn him into the bad guy or something stupid like that.
Right.
Um, and again, with Kyle, it was nice to see him branching out a little more, becoming a little more not personable but outgoing, and
Attempt.
yeah, attempting, being nice to cranky old lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, but having Sidney introduce himself at the funeral was also a nice little twist too, because it made it pretty obvious that he was the guy who killed the neighbor.
Well, his car was parked out front.
Yeah, well, I mean, and the sky, showing him shaving, and then you're sure
Yeah.
that's like the murder weapon. Okay, well, let's put two and two together. Uh, and I like that we're doing the two episode format because it lets us piece more things together. Like, i.e., Megan, she saw a car at the end of episode 3 and started having freakouts. All right, who
Yeah.
cares? Oh, episode 4. Here's what it is: a fucking rapist and abuser from her past. And so, yay! Husband didn't quite work that out properly, though.
Yeah. Oh, husband, like turn off your dash cam, honey.
Yeah, and
Turn off your dash cam. Oh, that's I'm so mad about that. Also, we should probably touch on the one thing her hubby did right, which was the trailer in the woods.
yeah, and that was actually interesting too because when he turned everything in, you kind of started thinking, okay, is his chief in on this? Okay, no, it was just his buddy's thing, but then he got suspicious and deliberately gave his buddy the watch back and then went to see what was going on. So I'm glad that it's not turning into one of those stupid, like, everyone in charge in the town is in on it. Because
Yeah.
I was really afraid for a second that we were going there. I was like, please no, please no. Like, it was like a hot fuzz moment to me. I'm like, don't hot fuzz this.
Don't Timothy Dalton right now. Don't do it. Just don't
Yeah.
do it. And they
And
didn't. And I think that the sheriff, because I think he's sheriff, police chief,
yeah, he's chief. Yeah, Chief
head
Giles.
police guy, is way more in tune with the Reverend's experiences and that
Yeah.
there are things in play that aren't normal.
Yeah, because he supported when Kyle beat the shit out of the kid.
Yeah.
Chief, sure no charges were pressed.
So I'm intrigued to see where we go with that, though he is having it processed. So we should hopefully next couple of episodes get some more info on what's up with the. I kind of want to call it the shaggin' wagon, but
Oh, it's ashes now.
yeah, it doesn't matter now.
Now, and it's the multi-episode format, even just doing 2 episodes at a time is enough to get those threads. Because I think just one episode really it is hard to maintain what's going on there. But my issue now, my one issue with these 2 episodes is honestly Megan's character doesn't feel that fleshed out to me. Honestly, having her have that trauma of her past and stuff. Okay, we're adding more detail to the character, but I don't know. I really don't know if it's the actress or the writing, but I just feel like she's still very one note. Hey, I'm here to help my stepbrother or adopted brother Kyle, and that's it.
Yeah.
They try to introduce this background to make you care a little bit more about her, add a little more mystery or whatever, but it fell flat to me. I think that it just took up way too much of episode 4, and obviously beating or her husband beating the shit out of the guy is going to have repercussions. But other than that, I don't feel like there was any purpose to the whole story arc.
I really like the only thing takeaway for that for me. Excuse me. So sorry. The takeaway for me was actually having the sister's husband, the cop,
Yeah,
and Kyle kind of make peace offering there. When the cop specifically says, like I thought she made all that shit up
yeah.
to make me
Well,
like you.
yeah, but again, this all comes back to none of this was to develop her. It was to move other stories forwards. So she just became the damsel in distress for an episode. So that, yeah, so Kyle and her husband could make a little bit of peace so her husband could get in trouble for future episodes. But there was no, oh, good, I feel better for her moment. It was just, she's emoing it up. She threatened the guy, done. But I don't feel like they did shit to develop her.
No.
They
I'm
just
I'm
damsel in
hoping that
distressed her.
they use that as a base point to move her forward, but
Yeah, so that is a fault of the show. They didn't move her forwards with that whole fucking arc. So shame on you, Outcast.
for shame.
Yeah. And the other thing is I don't think we've done any development with Kyle since episode 2 either. You know, we introduced more doubt and we introduced him personally trying to, well, let me try and be a little better, but otherwise he's treading water right now.
Yeah.
So again, this is obviously a show that is meant to slow burn over a whole season. So hopefully we'll get a little better out of that. The individual episodes are interesting for the most part, but like I said, I'm not getting enough development yet to be like, this show is amazing.
Yeah. No, and we'll keep at it. We're going to give it the season, so we'll keep at it. And if you are looking at these and you're like, gosh, maybe I do want to binge watch it. Like we'll be doing a full season
Yeah,
one-off episode just to
yeah, we'll wrap up
indulge our binge watching people.
at the good, the bad, and the brutal
Yeah.
for the whole season.
So that said, sorry we were late. We have an update video that came out earlier this week that'll give you some more info as to what's been going on. But we will see you Saturday for episode 5 and 6. Bye,
Nice.
everybody.